This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com. Hello my friends, the Game Boy Geek here. Yawn and stretch and get ready out of bed because we're going to be looking out the window and looking at a beautiful city as the sun is rising. Because we're going to be talking about Sunrise City, the expansion called Sunrise City Nights. This is where we'll add different things to our city. We'll be adding casinos and speakeasies and mansions and different things that come out at night. So let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. The main part of the expansion are these one zone tiles. Each player is going to get one of each of these at the beginning of the game. And essentially these are used, this is the nightclub, this is the mansion, casino, the speakeasy, and the cinema. Things that you'll be adding to your city as things go on. Now the game comes with 17 new roles, and your first few times playing this, they say just use the roles that are in the expansion, and then after a while you mix these in with the regular roles from the base game. 3 of them have some special pieces. One of them is the fire marshal. You get this red fire marshal meeple, you put it out on a building or a zone, you score a point, and then on your turn, basically you can move it to an adjacent zone or building, and no one can build where the fire marshal is, so it stops people from building there. Now at the sheriff, at the construction phase, you roll this fortune die which has different colors. You place this meeple on a building or zone of that color, you get a point. And then for the rest of the round, no nightclub, speakeasy, or casino can be built on or surrounding that meeple, the sheriff. And the governor gets this huge chip, and then basically if they put this chip on a zone, the people who have bid there takes all their chips back, essentially eliminates people's bids on a certain zone. And then at the end of the phase, they roll this fortune die. If it's purple, nobody gets it. Otherwise, it gets awarded to the player of the matching color of this. And that's pretty much it for some of the special roles. But even the roles that don't come with special pieces have things to do with the expansion, as you can imagine. The paparazzo, you roll this fortune dice each time an opponent scores a benchmark token. And if you roll that player's color, you get a benchmark token. The impresario, during the construction phase, whenever a casino or a nightclub is added to the city, you gain a point. So let's talk more about the main part of the expansion. So most of this is done in the construction phase of the game. Now let's say we have a city that's being built here. Again, everyone gets 5, one of each of these night tiles. Now on your turn, you can place one of these tiles if you like. You can never place more than 2 per round. And again, there's 5 total. And they're all different colors. So you can place this on a city, a building, or in a zone if it's the right color and you have a bidding chip on there. Purple one is as we know, is wild. So this one could actually go on anywhere because it's wild. Now when you place one down, let's just say we place it on the wild here. You then roll this die for however many purples there are in the city, not counting this. So right now there's 1, 2. We would roll this die twice, and every time it comes up with purple, we score 2 points. Let's say you build a cinema, and this can go on purple or red, because purple's always wild, but let's say we put it here. Not counting this, you count however many reds there are in the entire city. These are pretty much always this one's in the entire city. Essentially you score 1 point. So in this case, I would get 3 points for having 3 in the entire city here. And let's look at the blue nightclub. Now here, because let's say I'm the red player, I could build on the blue. Let's say I could build like this. Now I would look at the entire city and see how many blues there are, and I get a point for each of those, not counting this. So in this case, I would just get 1 point because there's 1 blue. Let's say the city now looks like this. Now remember, you can only place 2 of these per construction phase. But let's say I place this here, I can because purple's wild. I put it here. I look at the 8 surrounding pieces of city. That's what that shows you here. Right now there's only 5 surrounding pieces, but I look at however many yellow buildings there are and I get a point for each of those. And let's say we place the green mansion on the green building there. We would again look around the 8 surrounding areas and see however many green buildings there are. You get a point for each, in that case 2 points. That's pretty much how you play, and you're not forced to play these. They're always optional. And when you pass, it's always when you don't have any or don't want to play any of the tiles or 1 zone tiles in the expansion. Then you'd go to the next phase. Now Sunrise City is a game that I really enjoyed a lot. I like the components, I like the idea, and the most satisfying part about this game is when you're trying to get exactly to 10 on the point track, because when you get exactly to 10, you get double the amount of points, and that's huge, and that is just the most satisfying part of this game. this expansion, even though it doesn't add a whole lot, and it doesn't add, a lot of complexity, you're basically doing something in one phase, it adds one more option for you to be able to score a specific amount of points, which then helps you have that that very satisfying feeling more often. So for that, I give this thing a thumbs up. Now, it's easy enough that I could actually even add this probably to the base game, even teaching it the first time, because it doesn't add that much complexity. I like how it adds all those new roles, 17 new roles that you'll play with all the time at the beginning and then mix it in with the other roles later. And I like that. I like that it's simple. You just add it and you know how many points you're going to get. But again, with all those different tiles, you'll have a lot more options of being able to hit that 10 to get those double points, which makes the game fulfilling. So it makes the game better without adding a lot of complexity, so 2 thumbs up. At the same time, the base game is still very good, so this isn't one that I feel like you absolutely have to own, but it is nice if you like the game a lot and you want to add something to it. I definitely recommend it. There is one issue I had with it, is that the tiles in the base game had this really nice sort of rough matte finish that looked really nice under lights. It felt good. And these tiles were different. They sort of had a shiny feeling, a lot smoother feeling, and they looked different. And I just wish they had kept the same matte feeling and look as the original tiles, because it feels a lot of place putting these buildings down there that feel and look different from the other ones. So from a production standpoint, that's only a negative. But other than that, it's thumbs up if you like the game. Not a must-have, but if you do get it, I definitely think you'll enjoy it, and I'll always play with it from now on. This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.